You've been lied to since the day you got your real estate license. And the people that are telling you these lies, they're the same damn people profiting off of your failure. Look, every fucking coach and mentor out there, they've got some great system. And you know what their system is designed for? It's designed to keep you around. They tell you to keep cold calling, door knocking, doing all these unsustainable things, hoping you get little breadcrumbs and little bits of success so that you'll just keep staying with them. And look, some of these people haven't even sold a damn house in their own life. So how the hell can they teach you how to do this? They really don't know. And then these shiny lead companies, look, they're selling you the same garbage, the same leads that they're selling to hundreds of other people, right? Maybe not on that site, maybe it's exclusive there, but people are going to 500 other sites. The one thing they're not going to teach you is how to build a system that repeatedly gets people to keep chasing you down and wanting you to list their house. You know why they're not going to teach you? Because the minute you become a marketing pro, you don't need them anymore. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid and you're going to die in this business. Look, the truth will set you free, but it's also going to piss you off. Look, when I first got into real estate, I remember the same shit. My broker handed me all this BS about their company and the kind of marketing they wanted me to do. And they wanted me to door knock and cold call and find these bigger agents and do open houses. And I listened to it and I did it. And then I remembered, you know what, Mike? You're a fucking marketer. I studied marketing before I ever got into real estate. It's been almost 40 years now. So I came into this knowing exactly what to do. I knew that I needed to write really great offers for people that would get them to call me. So I basically just took all this broker bullshit, and I think you know what it is, right? It's the stuff about we're the largest brokerage in town. We've got a large relocation network. We've got relationships with this company, relationships with that. Biggest organization on the planet, right? And guess what? Nobody cares. That's the bullshit that you got to get out of your head, is that nobody cares about that kind of crap. Yet here I was listening to my broker endlessly, waking up literally 6 o'clock in the morning so I could be prepped to start pulling all the expireds and getting my index box full of FSBO numbers ready. And 8 o'clock hit and I started calling. And I was even uncomfortable making those calls myself. And I'm sure you feel it too. I mean, how would you like at 8 o'clock in the morning to have some freaking salesperson, and that's what we are, freaking salesperson calling you? I mean, that's the time you're going to piss me off the most, right? I got shit to do. We got to get the kids ready. And even if not, I'm sleeping in. Don't freaking bother me. And so that's how I flipped the script here. I just finally said, Mike, wake the hell up. What in the are you doing? You know how to market. It's gotten me everything. It's gotten me everywhere. It's made me number one in everything I've ever done. Every nose to nose, toes to toes type selling job I had, every phone telemarketing job I had, every sales job I had. This is what made me the number one guy. And really quickly, and I mean that very seriously, always number one, and always sometimes the first month. In fact, usually the first month I'm working, I'm the number one guy on the board. It's because I know how to do this marketing, and I use this marketing in the way that I speak. I use this marketing in the way that I send stuff out to people. I use this marketing in videos, emails, you name it, texts even. So I just stopped doing it. And I just said, Mike, let's do what you know how to do. So I put on my marketing shoes and I started creating these little, I call them outrageous offers. Small, inexpensive marketing pieces, but these big offers that people couldn't resist. And as soon as I started doing that, my listings stacked up like fucking crazy. And the funny part is that all of these so-called coaches and mentor, so people that I knew, right, who had been telling me about all the accountability and all this bullshit, right, they started asking me how I was doing it. Now, I got news for you. I'm not your fucking friend if you're a real estate coach who's calling me and asking me for advice. I'm truly your worst enemy. So if you're sick of being manipulated and lied to and fed all this BS, let's just rip this dirty little secret of this industry wide open. The first thing you need to do is you need to stop listening to these damn ads out there and these coaches. I see it everywhere every day about doing the right marketing now. Why now? Why not all the time? Activating your sphere. What exactly? I want you to really think about it. What the hell does that mean? Activate your sphere. Are you that influential that you can just snap your fingers, drive everybody fucking nuts that you know, and they're all of a sudden going to be listing their houses with you? Do you even have a, quote, sphere of influence that's big enough to help you come anywhere near your goals. I challenge you that you don't. I spend a lot of money on marketing. I have over the years, millions and millions and millions of dollars. My sphere is not big enough for me to do that. Trust me, yours isn't. Throw that crap away. We're not, and I want you to think about that anyway. Why are they telling you to do the right marketing now and activate your sphere now? Because all the other times it didn't work for you, and that's all they've got left in their arsenal. Just do it again, do it more. The right kind of marketing is not taught in real estate, and it's so simple. You need to just literally think about what your clients want, what your prospects want. And I need you to hear me, because this is the way to get people to call you, period, end of story. Anybody that tells you differently is lying to you. The minute you start talking about you and start telling them how great you are and how many awards you got, how many homes you've sold, how you're the neighborhood specialist, how everybody loves you, me. If you hear yourself saying me, that isn't going to work. You've got to be talking about them. When you learn how to write messages that clearly convey to them the great benefit that they get when they hire you, that's when you become king of the hill. Okay, so think about your marketplace. Hell, ask your marketplace. Have a telemarketer start making phone calls for you and ask them, what's the most important to you in a home sale? Money, speed, or headaches? Less headaches. Which is it? Write ads around that. Look, I used to tack on maybe a little guarantee. It depended what the thing was. Maybe if I don't sell the house fast, maybe I'll give you a couple $1,000s, right? And that comes in the form of a commission reduction. And don't ever let anything like that scare you, right? We write rules that protect you from that, and you get so much business from it. Like if you had to give away a little bit here and there, doesn't hurt you. Look, believe me, you're not talking to a fee cutter or commission cutter here. I routinely would charge the highest rate that I knew of in my marketplace, and I would often tack on an additional little fee for them participating in my special system. And they paid it happily. Why do people pay happily on things like that? Because I'm giving them something that actually gets them to chase me. This is what we talk about when I say flip the switch, right? Flip the script. We got to flip the script. You're not chasing them. They're calling you. And the only way that they're going to call you is if you put out a compelling offer that solves their problem right up front. So if you're in a market, for example, that houses are now taking a hell of a long time to sell and people are watching their prices drop, well, maybe what's keeping them awake is that their house is sitting on the market forever. So write an offer about how fast you could sell the house and make it a little more attractive than the next guy. And don't worry, because the next guy doesn't tell them anything anyway. Just say, I'll guarantee it'll be sold in this amount of time. I think you get it here. And look, if you want to learn more about how to do this in detail, just go to comelistmebook.com, grab yourself a copy of my book. It outlines this in complete detail. You'll be a pro in about 30 minutes. Number 2, you don't activate your sphere. We're going to create a new sphere for you. Now, look, this is a really nice twist on an old school technique. You know, I'm sure you've probably heard circle prospecting, right? But here's where circle prospecting sucks. And I should probably use a stronger word than that. It sucks though. It's where you find houses that have listed, right? Or a house that's listed. And then you start calling all the people around there. And it's logical. Believe it or not, this old school technique makes sense because it operates on this thing in your mind that's called your reticular activation system, reticular activating system. So it's top of mind consciousness to explain it better. So it's that thing in your mind that when you start thinking about something, it controls your focus on it. I'll give you an example. You may drive every day. You may be driving to your office or wherever the heck you go every day, and you may pass 50 Mercedes. And you probably don't notice any of them. They don't mean anything. It's just cars passing by. Then you go home one night and you see an ad for a Mercedes online. You see this beautiful E-Class Mercedes and you go, damn, that's hot. Maybe I'll get one of those. Your mind will naturally start locking onto Mercedes. You'll never be able to go anywhere and pass those 50 Mercedes again. You'll notice every one. You'll notice what color they are. You'll start to know the model numbers. It's top of mind consciousness. And that's why circle prospecting works. This is built into the human mind. You can't ignore it if you want to. So what happens is if you got somebody who puts their home for sale, if somebody else has been thinking, hey, maybe I'll put mine for sale, well, that's when like the green light goes on in their head and they're paying attention, right? This activates them and then they're watching them. So the problem with it is it's not scalable. You're not a telemarketer. Get that through your thick skull. You are not a telemarketer. You can hire a kid for $5 an hour to make phone calls for you. Like quite literally. That's not you. You're higher dollar activity. It's not scalable. You can only do so much in a day. I hear arguments from people, well, I got 3 listings from this. Great. I guarantee you I got 50 in the time you got those 3. But we can put a little twist on it, right? Let's flip the script here. Do that with great marketing, right? You can go out and you can find these properties that just listed, just sold, and you can circle prospect all around them with a great offer. Referring back to what I just said in point number 1 here, create an offer that is mega, mega sticky, that addresses their highest level want and gets them drooling to do business with you. It's that simple. You're targeting highly likely to act people, and you're doing this now at scale. Instead of just like hitting 2 or 3, we can hit like hundreds and thousands of people depending on your marketing budget, and it's going to get you business. And here's the third thing, and this may come as a shock to real estate agents, because I think when agents get into this business, it's common to think that, wow, I'm going to get my license. I'm going to show up at the office. There's going to be a line of cars, people waiting to go buy houses. You find out on day 1, that's not true. By day 2, you start going, holy crap, what am I going to do? By 3, you're desperate. You don't know what the hell to do. And you start believing that myth that they told you that you should expect to not make money for 6 months, right? That's bullshit. You don't need to listen to these coaches and these mentors and these whoever your leaders are that tell you you need an accountability coach. You need somebody following up. You need an accountability partner to follow up with you and make sure that you've done this. You've made your 100 cold calls. You don't need to pay a coach $1,000 a month to have some flunky below them pick up the phone and say, hey, Mike, did you make your 100 cold calls today? I mean, holy shit. If you're not that accountable for yourself, I don't know how you dress yourself in the morning. And I got news for you. You own a business here. So if you own a business, the onus falls on you to be accountable. And guess what? You are going to be as accountable to you as you're going to expect these other people to be accountable. So not only do you have to be accountable to yourself, you got to be accountable to all the people that you bring in. So learn to be accountable on your own. Don't listen to that bullshit. Hey, if you want to spend a few grand a month, you want me to have one of my kids call you and get you to, ask if you've been making your calls. Hey, send me the money. I'll take it. Remember that trap I told you about where coaches get you in a loop so that they can keep you there so that you need them? This is one of those. You don't need it. Get away from it. Learn to be accountable for your own actions. And if you want to take leverage to the next level, just watch this next video. It's called How Real Estate Agents Will Dominate with AI While Everyone Else is Being Replaced. I'll show you how to replace the grind and all the BS and just dominate everybody.